Yo, what is going on, guys? Sacho322 here, back, and today, guys, I'm bringing you yet another ASL video. And today we have ASL Season 3 Week 10 for the weekly recap. And I did not do weekly recap last week because I was on vacation, so TG filled in for me, so thank you very much, TG, for doing so. The video was awesome. But anyways, we have Week 10 here, and we have a lot of close matches, actually. 6 of the 7 matches being 2-0s or below, so these matches are gonna really determine the front runners for playoffs. And I'm not gonna discuss the clinches or the eliminations that happened. You could probably guess, but me and Susie will confirm it in the playoff implications video. So that'll probably be up like Friday or something like that. That's when it normally is up. But anyways, with the first match here, we have not that one. That's my template that I use just so I can delete all the other ones and copy and then go over them again. Okay, anyways, we have the Intermilotic taking on the Denver Nummels, and this was a pretty important match because both teams are fighting for a playoff spot. And with Static's 2-0 victory over Demaster, it helped him improve to a 5-5 record, which otherwise he would have been 4-6, which is very hard to climb out of because you have to win out, and then 7-6 still might not cut it for this season. So definitely some interesting stuff, but let's go ahead and hop into the match. We have a Milotic Rotom Heat lead. This actually favors Static because he gets a free Volt Switch off and can go into his Conch Elder, which honestly would love to get scalded because it is Guts, at least I assume. But Moltres is going to come out, seeming to be the check, and Static is going to paralyze with the Thunder Punch first turn, and then get a full turn pair the next. So Static's already starting off this match really well, gets some momentum with Rotom on the Volt Switch, goes into Type Null, which Type Null seems to be maybe the Tapu Koko and the Hydreigon answer, since they're both tentatively special. Mega Alakazam is going to come out on the Megalopony. It can live if fake out and can just obliterate it back. Demaster is going to show that Jirachi is his Alakazam check. Static wants to go for the Shadow Ball and see if Demaster wants to stay in. Demaster does, sets up his rocks, and Static is going to get a lucky Shadow Ball special defense drop. So Static is already starting off this match very, very good. So out comes Tapu Koko on the Alakazam. Is going to take a Shadow Ball. It does roughly under half, and Tapu Koko is going to switch out, predicting the Psyshock going into Jirachi, because Jirachi can now take the Shadow Ball because no special defense drop. And there it is again. That special defense drop is going to matter in a minute because Demaster is going to get the Wish back, and he will be at higher health, so that is going to matter in a minute. But Jirachi is going to take a Dazzling Gleam. Static definitely predicting the swap into Hydreigon or even Lopunny, just to take the Shadow Ball. But Jirachi is going to throw a Wish in the air, wants to protect on up, and Alakazam is going to keep firing off Shadow Balls because it can take the Iron Heads, and Static is going to win this encounter. Shadow Ball actually doesn't kill, he does not get the roll. So Demaster has to protect and hope for the best. He's either going to have to let his Jirachi go down or let something take a pretty big hit here. And he's actually going to let his Jirachi go down, since Jirachi, I guess, did his job. It got Zam weak enough for Scarf Hydreigon to come in here. I assume it's Scarf Hydreigon. That would make the most sense to me. But Mega Lopunny gonna come out here, go for that nice Drain Punch. Not rocking that high jump kick. Wants the recovery. Goes into Hydreigon. I don't really get that play. If I'm being honest, I think Milotic or Moltres was a very, very good swap in, since Hydreigon was Demaster's check. Again, if it's Scarf, it's his check to +1 Zygarde, and it outsped Megazam and killed it. So I don't really understand that play. I guess he was probably predicting Stealth Rocks, which is fair. Anyways, Milotic is going over the Ice Beam, freeze Conch Elder, get a little bit of that hacks back, and Conch Elder is going to stay frozen. So all the special defense drops in Rachi, which caused Demaster to play differently, are coming back to bite Static, and Moltres is going to come out here. And Rotom Heat is a pretty free swap in on Moltres every single time. And Moltres is actually going to drop to a Volt Switch. So Static is up 6-3 in this match, and Mega Lopunny is going to come out and do what Mega Lopunny does best, kill something. So out comes Clefable. Demaster is going to swap into Milotic. See, as you can see, that did absolutely nothing, and Demaster can recover off the damage. So I don't really understood why he just sacked off Hydreigon there. Again, he wasn't really gaining anything by doing that play. I guess a free swap, but you can pivot through Milotic, but whatever. Milotic is going to go for the recover on this frozen Conkeldurr. Very unfortunate for Static at this point, but it is what it is. And the Master's going to crit. This next one still won't kill, but Static is going to stay frozen. So I can confidently say that the Hax is kind of balanced now. So now it's 4-3, and Static's gonna go to his Clefable, and I believe set up a no. I swear he was Cosmic Power Clefable. We'll see. Milotic is gonna go over the recover, as Clefable is gonna get the lucky special attack drop, which means Milotic really cannot do anything to Clefable. Not that it could before, and Demaster's gonna get another freeze. That one doesn't matter. This Clefable thaws out immediately, and Milotic can basically just sit here as can Clefable, so this is gonna be pretty boring. At least Demaster snaps that streak, goes into a Tapu Koko. I don't really understand that play, if I'm being honest. I thought it was better. Oh, okay, he has the Roost. Okay, I understand it now. Tapu Koko is going to go with the Volt Switch, and that looks to be a very specially defensive type null, as it is probably for the Tapu Koko and the Hydreigon. Demaster, what is this? You freeze 3 times. Can we all come together and ban Ice Beam, at least just for Demaster? Thank you. Rotom Heat is going to come out, and Rotom Heat gets a free Volt Switch off. Unfortunately, the electric terrain is down, but it doesn't really matter since Milotic is dropping anyways. That's 4-2. Clefable comes out on the Tapu Koko. Could take any one hit for sure. Demaster goes for the Dazzling Gleam, predicting the Zygarde. That is not the case. Clefable gets an extremely crucial special attack drop, because now this doesn't kill and Clefable can sit here, because otherwise that Thunderbolt would have killed. But now Demaster is kind of forced to go into Mega Lopunny and kind of risk it, but he's actually just going to stay in here and click the Thunderbolt. So definitely a lot of hacks on both sides. I don't really know if it evened out. Okay, there you go. Tapu Koko with a critical hit gets rid of Clefable. Out comes Zygarde with a -1 special attack Tapu Koko. It doesn't matter, it's going to drop because it is Scarf Zygarde. So Scarf Zygarde is actually going to win this game. Oh, no. Mega Lopunny is going to come out, hit him up with an Ice Punch, and go back into Zygarde. Probably click Outrage now, since 1,000 arrows probably wouldn't have killed. Oh, actually goes for the superpower. And yeah, that's going to be the game. The Inner Milotic taking a 2-0 victory over Demaster and the Denver Nummels. Next up, we have the Netherlandians taking on the St. Louis Swablues. And I have watched this match. I didn't watch it at the time, so I don't know exactly what happened. But Malone gave me a rundown of what happened, and I'm going to pause the match at that point just to clear everything up. But yeah, it is a 2-0 victory in Lari's favor. Mega Sharpedo and Extra Drill putting pressure on the other's team respectively. So let's go ahead and get into it. There's going to be a Mega Glade and Weezing lead. This isn't the best thing for Malone, but Lari is going to go for the nice Will-O-Wisp. So very good play, or for the taunt. Then goes for the Psycho Cut. Sylveon's going to come out. I don't really know why Sylveon came out. Mew was a much better play. But nonetheless, it does take the hit with the leftovers. So Extra Drill is going to go for the Swords Dance. Malone is going to go for the Sludge Bomb. He told me it was a risk it for the biscuit play. That he was... I don't even know. He goes for the Explosion. Does break the sub, so that's good for Malone. He can go into Scarf Exploud. Go for the Focus Blast. Does not kill, unfortunately. And then Exploud is going to drop to an Earthquake. So Extra Drill already picking up 2 kills in the match. Lari's got to get out of there since Sharpedo naturally outspeeds. Go for the Crunch, get a crit, and crit doesn't really matter. It's a Suicune. Goes into Mew. And Mew is going to go ahead and set up an SD if I'm not... Oh, no. Wait a minute. He goes for the Toxic, and then Mew is going to swap. Oh, well. Wow. Shaman is gonna go for the Shaman is gonna go for the toxic, yeah. And it's gonna be a toxic battle, but Shaman can use its natural cure, go into T-Tar, get up the sand just to put more residual damage on Sylveon. It's a very good play on Lari's part. Plus get up a rock since Malone his only has removal is Mew at this point in time. Not in his draft, but just what he has left. Sylveon is going to throw a Wish in the air and is getting hit considerably by the Toxic. He's going to go for the Toxic again, try and pressure out the Shaman. And this Sylveon is taking way too much damage. By the way, Trixie is my name for Sylveons, but it's a good name. Go ahead. Sylveon going to go for the Wish, and Sylveon is taking so much damage at this point, so I really think Malone needs to swap out his Sylveon, since Sylveon is a good pressure against Tyranitar. But he's actually just going to leave it in, which I don't really understand. I guess he's kind of just hyper voicing everything. He's just trying to hyper voice pressure everything, and he's actually going to go for the Toxic, as Lari picks a perfect play to go for the rest. So Sylveon is going to drop from toxic damage on from Shaman. Mew's gonna go for the SD. Here's the SD. So Mew goes for the SD on a sleeping Suicune. It's gonna go for the SD again. So Mew is at +4, and this is a perfectly designed set by Malone. This was actually beautiful watching. It was a great set. Suicune's gonna go for the Icy Wind. That's not gonna really matter, as you're gonna see. So Suicune's gonna go for the Scald. Mew wants to go for the Toxic. And Suicune is going to go for the Scald again. Does not get the burn, but it doesn't matter because Malone is going to Baton Pass into Mega Sharpedo. And is going to go for the Crunch, and then is at neutral speed. And then out comes Shaman. He's going to go for the Protect. And get that +1 speed boost. Okay, here's where I need to pause it. So, this match had a lot of controversy over the fact that, as you see who won. You see that Lari won. People thought that Malone honestly choked this match, which he did if this was the play that he selected. If this was what he meant to do, he completely choked the match. But he said that he clicked cancel and it didn't work. So I understand. It's happened to me before. And yeah, it sucks. It sucks. The heck? The heckles? What is this? What is this? What? Thank you. Good lord. Anyways. So random. But anyways, he said he clicked Crunch not thinking, and then he clicked cancel. Or no, he clicked Mega Evolve, then he clicked cancel, and it didn't work. It went through. He clicked Ice Fang. I don't really know why he brought Ice Fang, because Crunch would kill anyways. Either way, I think Poison Jab was a much better bring, but anyways. Out comes Sand Rush Drill, and he's going to drop. So down goes Mega Sharpedo, and Malone is going to double into Mew. Not really sure about that one. I guess he misclicked on Terrakion, probably. Out comes Terrakion. This is actually a really, really good set too. He's got the Shuka Berry, so we can go ahead and Rock Polish up. And he's gonna go for the close combat here. Or no, he goes for the Sacred Sword. Okay. I've never seen Sacred Sword Terrakion except for in game. But Gallade's gonna go for the Drain Punch, as it literally takes nothing for X Scissor. And the New Millenniums are gonna win a 2-0. Next up, we have the Contract Killers taking on the Utah Hoots. 5-0 victory in the Contract Killers' favor, as Greninja is one of the weekly heroes, picking up 4 kills in the match. Let's go ahead and hop right into it. We have Arcanine taking on Electros. This is a favorable matchup for Suzy. You can go for a big Flare Blitz and do over half, and all Electros can do is U-turn out. So out comes Kabutops. Kabutops is a relatively good swap into Arcanine. Out comes Skarmory. Skarmory gonna show off that Rocky Helmet. You can basically just set up hazards here. No reason not to. since Anderson does not have a way to remove them but Kabutops. And Susie's going to pick the perfect time to go for the Whirlwind. Kangaskhan gets to come out on the Skarmory. Oh, excuse me, goes into the Arcanine, as Kangaskhan is going to Wish into Cresselia. And fearing the Moonblast, Susie's going to go into Arcanine. And Arcanine is going to double into Raikou. As this is Calm Mind Cresselia, ladies and gentlemen. And it is Calm Mind Raikou, what do you know? But Cresselia will win this battle because of Psyshock. But Anderson is just going to go for the Moonblast. I don't even know if he had Psyshock, but anyways, it's going to get Whirlwinded out into Greninja. Greninja basically gets to kill something, but Scrafty is actually relatively bulky. So Cresselia gets to come out. It does nothing, and Scrafty has to fear the Moonblast. And gonna go into Skarmory. Skarmory could roost off the damage. Oh no, it's special attack. Oh my god, it mattered. No. But Skarmory is gonna go for the Roost. Anderson's gonna double into Kabutops on the Arcanine swap, so very good double on Anderson's part. Automatically giving him an SD or a Waterfall. He's gonna over the Waterfall, but Electros is gonna come out. Electros gets to go ahead and go for the U-turn if it wants for momentum, but it's actually gonna go for the knockoff. And Raikou gonna come out because Raikou, and then Anderson's gonna double into Cresselia. So Anderson pulling some impressive doubles right here. Goes into Electros on the Whirlwind, comes back into Cresselia. And it's Anderson's best play to just Calm Mind up to force him to Whirlwind out. And then hopefully bring in Electros. That's not what's going to happen. Kangaskhan comes out. But Kangaskhan basically gets to throw a Wish in the air. And if it desires, can go heal up Electros. But it's actually going to heal itself up and Toxic the Arcanine. Definitely worthwhile since Arcanine is proving to be a little bit annoying in this match. He's going to over the Seismic Toss, do a clean 30%. And it gets into Greninja at full health because the Wish is going to heal the Stealth Rock damage. And Greninja is going to get to put in some work here. Going to go for the Surf, do some big damage. And it's going to go for the Hydro Vortex. Actually goes Black Hole Eclipse. Yeah, nice. So Greninja picking up the first kill of the match. It's going to go for the U-turn, get into Cresselia. Since, ironically, Cresselia is Anderson's answer for a Dark type. But Cresselia is just so bulky, it can take the knockoff pretty easily. Anderson is going to go for the Moonlight, keep his Cresselia healthy. I guess to go for the Calm Mind. And Skarmory is going to go for the Brave Bird, as Cresselia is going to Calm Mind again, and gets Whirlwinded out into Kabutops. Kabutops going to go for the Rapid Spin, and it's going to get Whirlwinded out. I feel like this is going to be a much longer weekly recap, just because this is taking forever. Anyways, Greninja going to go over that big U-turn, do tons of damage, and Electros can come in, live the Scald comfortably, and then can go for a Thunderbolt or a U-turn. So Arcanine is getting chipped down, especially with that Toxic, goes into Greninja, and this is where Anderson gets to claim a kill. He's going to go over the Surf. Oh, it actually doesn't kill with Dark Pulse. Susie's going to double out, predicting the U-turn. That is not the case. And Arcanine is going to drop for the second kill. So Greninja is going to go over the U-turn, and this is Torrent Greninja, just so you guys know. So, well, you guys probably would have figured that out by now, but anyways, Torrent Greninja is still putting in work. But Skarmory comes out, takes the Moonblast, and again, every single time the special attack drop. Not like it matters, but I feel like I should point it out. Rapid Spin gonna go into the Skarmory. Not gonna really do anything to Susie just because it's a Skarmory. Come on now. It's gonna Rapid Spin, keep the hazards off the field. Pretty smart. These hazards can get really annoying, especially with this Electros right here, since it kind of needs to be the one that takes down Landorus, but I don't think that's gonna happen at this point in time. Greninja just gets a free U-turn off every single time, and that's gonna be a huge crit. It makes it so I believe Slowking is not taking a Dark Pulse next time it comes in. Or it's maybe not taking a U-turn next time it comes in. Because I don't think its Regenerator can do enough. Cress has the Cobra Berry, so that's why Anderson was so confident each time. Susie does make a good prediction on the Cresselia to pop the Cobra Berry. Unfortunately for Susie, the Cresselia is still at basically full, 99%. So out comes Kangaskhan, and Kangaskhan gets a free wish. It gets into Greninjas. This is very bad for Susie. Has to go into Slowking, and Dark Pulse will be able to 2-hit KO. But Anderson can also go for the Surf, predicting probably the Scrafty. Doesn't really matter a whole ton because he can wish back in Greninja if needed. And Greninja can go for the U-turn, get a crit. I don't really think that would matter as much. But Scrafty gonna go for the Drain Punch. And excuse me. Goes into Skarmory again every single time. It's a special attack drop. This is actually kind of hilarious. God, this is gonna be a really long weekly recap. We're already at 21 minutes and we're like 3 matches in. These long battles, bro. But out comes Kabutops. Kabutops just gonna go for the Waterfall. Skarmory roosted. Come on, attack each other. Goes for the Rapid Spin, gets the hazards off the field. Goes for the Brave Bird. And Kabutops is going to go for the Swords Dance as Rocks get set up. This is just a mindless game of cat and mouse. It's kind of annoying. Alright, then we go into Greninja. Greninja gets to claim a kill. It's going to be the Skarmory. Greninja has 3 kills at this point, I think. And then is going to... Or no, it had 4 kills. And then dies to Landorus with the Earthquake. Out comes Cresselia. Cresselia basically gets to win this game with Moonblast. If it has Ice Beam, that'll make this end quicker. But it really only needs Moonblast. So, yeah, that's basically going to wrap this up. Special attack drop again, bro. Again, none of these mattered. None of the special attack drops mattered, but I feel like I should point them out. Anderson, don't do this. Just let it die. Just go into something. Just, we're fine. Okay, thank God. This game is going to be over. Alright. There's going to be a 5-0 victory in the Contract Killer's favor, proving themselves to 5-5 and staying in the playoff race. Next up, we have the Keldeo Resolutes taking on the Royal Gardevoir as Darmanitan is one of the weekly heroes, picking up 5 kills, absolutely decimating Gustavo's team as he really does not have many swap-ins for it. Let's get it. We have Darmanitan against Chansey. Chansey's got to swap out into Rhyperior as Darmanitan could just go for the U-turn, as it is likely Scarf Darmanitan. Scarf Darmanitan is the most common used set. Banded Darmanitan is actually pretty fun to use too, just because it's a nuke button, but Scarf is pretty common. Anyways, Starmie is going to go for the Thunderbolt onto the Zapdos. Zapdos gets a free Volt Switch or U-turn, but is actually going to hard swap right into Blastoise, as he's got a double into Heatran. Does not want to take a Thunderbolt on this Blastoise. He's going to go for the Magma Storm, knock it down to its sturdy. So this makes me think that Magneton is a little bit more offensive, but I don't really know. I might be underestimating Heatran. Anyways, Heatran is going to go for the Protect. Scout out what this Starmie wants to do. Maybe get some intel on instead. Aselgor is going to come out, take a lot of damage from that Skull, but can Bug Buzz. It's going to go for the U-turn, though. Go into Mega Blastoise. Mega Blastoise pressures Hyperior a lot. Goes into Chansey. Chansey takes out Water Pulse like a champ. It's actually going to go for the block. So I actually really like this set by Ghost. This is actually a really smart set. Water Pulse, Block, Toxic, and Rest. That's a very, very smart set because it beats Chansey. Because its only way of removing Toxic realistically is to swap out, but then you see the Aromatherapy there. So this set is unfortunately not going to work against Gustavo, but it was a very, very good, or very, very well-designed set by Ghost. Anyways, Darmanitan gets to come out. Darmanitan gets to go for the Superpower and claim its kill. That crit does not matter, I don't think. Maybe it did. I don't know. It's going to go for the Superpower and get rid of Rhyperior, picking up its first kill in the match. It's got to swap out since it is likely choiced Darmanitan. He's going to go and sack off the Aselgor, which Aselgor is there for Starmie, but Ghost has Zapdos, which can take it on. He's gonna over the Flare Blitz, just get rid of Magneton. Gustavo's gonna go and use that as a sack. Not a bad play. Goes into Gardevoir. And Ghost, not wanting to risk anything, is gonna go swap out. Zapdos gets to come in, take a Hyper Voice, and Ghost is sacking it off. Since it is there for the Starmie, but there are other things that can beat the Starmie. For example, the Blastoise set can kind of beat it. Goes into Big Dave. The Heatran is going to go for the Protect to scout out what's this make Gardevoir wants to do, and Gustavo has the HP Ground. So that will definitely knock out the Heatran. So just 3-4, but Darmanitan gets to come in and just kill something. Goes for the Flare Blitz, annihilates Chansey. Goes into Gardevoir, and Gustavo is banking on that the recoil will kill Darmanitan, but that is not the case. Darmanitan is going to drop. Out comes his Magius. That's going to die too, and Darmanitan is finally going to die. So, yeah, lots of damage. And I'm pretty sure Gustavo isn't even supposed to have his Magius, but whatever. Problems with the dog. But anyways, Ghost is going to get a crit. Kill Starmie with a setup Omastar, and that's going to be the game. The Keldeo Hub Resolutes are going to take a 2-0 victory over the Royal Gardevoir, staying in the playoff race. Next up, we have the Portland Timbers taking on the Nightmare Nidoking, and this is a very close match. Me taking on Anaria, and he actually brings a lot of good sets, so let's go ahead and hop right into the match. So we have a Flygon taking on Ambipom. I can go ahead and just go for my Fake Out, as I actually have an Ambipom set that's designed to take on Mega Charizard X. It has Dual Chop on there with a Focus Sash. So I'm going to go into my Victini. He's going to go into Snorlax, which I figured would be the swap in for my Victini. I'm going to get a Burn, which is actually really, really nice. I go for the U-turn. I get to go into my Skuntank, as he's actually going to go for the Toxic. So I'm like, sweet, I can go ahead and go for the Defog. I have to keep rocks off the field just because my Ambipom is Focus Sashed. That's for the Charizard X, because Dual Chop plus Fake Out does 101% if he's offensive. So that's something to keep in mind. So he's going to be Curslax. I have to go into my Mega Pinsir here. I barely live. I stand by this decision. I have to just go ahead and close combat. I know it's not going to kill, but it's going to do lots of damage. And then I'm going to drop to the Facade. So I had to do that. Mega Pinsir is going to drop. Anyways, out comes Ambipom, and Silvally comes out as well. Fake Out does a lot of damage with the crit. Go into my Skuntank, as I took that Flash Cannon relatively well. I didn't really know what this thing wanted to do, and Skuntank was my my least useful member. I'm gonna go into my Hippowdon, take a Flamethrower. I really don't want to be burned. I'm gonna get my Stealth Rocks up, which Anaria, the only way of removing it is the Flygon. So I'm gonna go for the Slack Off, get my nice health back, and go into my Victini, since it looks like this Silvally cannot do anything to my Victini. And I'm going to go ahead and go with the Thunderbolt, and he's going to whip out the Never-Ending Nightmare. So down goes Victini. So Anaria bringing a lot of good sets that I wasn't expecting. But Ambipom is going to come in and kill the Silvally. And this is actually a really good Registeel set too. He's going to go for the Power Up Punch, get that attack up. My Hippowdon is max physically defensive, so it can really take any hit. That Ice Punch doesn't do a whole ton. I'm going to Ice Fang, predicting the Flygon to come out, which that is not the case. He's going to Power Up Punch again as I slack off. And Anaria is putting a lot of pressure on my Hippowdon right now. Goes for another Power Punch. This is a +3 Registeel. Registeel is relatively passive, but this is going to do a lot of damage if he hits me. That's going to do big damage. I'm going to go for my Earthquake. He lives on 4, which absolutely sucks. I'm going to go into my Skuntank, and he's actually going to make a really good play. Go for the Ice Punch again. And I'm going to go for the Sucker Punch, predicting him to just Ice Punch me, because I figured he would be fully attacking. But he has Thunder Wave, so I'm playing this terribly at this point. Go for the Pursuit, and he's not switching out, obviously. He's going to Ice Punch and kill my Skuntank. I'm going to kill him with the Aftermath. So it is 4-3. Go into my Ambipom, and at this point, I'm like, okay, so Latios can bring it back. Let's try and work to that. So Ambipom is going to flinch the Bulu as out comes Hippowdon. Takes a superpower and get my lefties back. And at this point, this shows me that Tapu Bulu is choice Scarf, since it didn't do that much damage. If it wouldn't have done that much if it was banded, or if it wouldn't have done so little if it was banded. Plus, he would have just Horn Leech and killed me. So he's gonna go for the Horn Leech. I force him to lock himself in. I'm gonna go to my Latios, since Latios can put in the finest right here. Psychic literally two-shots everything else. I'm gonna just go for the Psychic. This is Choice Scarf Latios, so it will be able to get rid of Flygon. And out comes Bulu. I gotta go into my Ambipom, praying to God that I can live this Mega Horn, which indeed I do. So we will be living on 2. Ooh, bars all around you. So I'm gonna go for the Fake Out, and since he might go into Bulu, Dual Chop is not even a set. I'm just gonna go for the Return anyways. There's no sense in like potentially missing. There's no reason. He goes into Bulu. I'm gonna sack it. That confirms that he's Choice Scarf, and this is what it comes down to. Scarf Ice Beam does 72.5% min. We are gonna kill the Tapu Bulu, and the Portland Timber is gonna win a 1-0 victory over the Nightmare Nidoking. Now for the next match, oops, down there. Okay, we have the Arcane Arcanines taking on the BC Rivals in a bit of an upset, if you want to call it like that. TG, the #1 team, was trumped in this week by the Arcane Arcanines. So let's see how that happens. We have Tangrowth against Goodra. Very much favors Goodra, but Ian sees a opportunity to set up, and Volcarona is actually the best swap in for Scizor. I guess Lando T is a good swap in too, but that's what TG chose. Very creative. But Tangrowth wants to swap out on the Ice Beam, go into Hoopa, and is going to get frozen. That's very unfortunate for TG. But he's going to thaw immediately, go for the Psyshock, and knock it down to 4%. So Jolteon is already heavily weakened. At least for Ian, Jolteon is not Life Orb. But Ian's going to go for the U-turn, as he has to take an HP Fire. Volcarona is fishing for that Flame Body to burn the Scizor and effectively make it useless, unless Uxie has Heal Bell, which is very, very possible. He's going to go to Uxie on the Psyshock. Has to take a Shadow Ball, does so much damage because Hoopa has like a base 150 special attack stat. But he's going to go ahead and drop to a 4-time super effective knockoff. Uxie's going to get up the Rocks. It has to take a knockoff and is going to go ahead and drop. So it is 5-5 at this point. Gengar can do the absolute most to Tangrowth. And out comes Nihilego, as it's a pretty good swap into Gengar, but Gengar does have the Psychic. So a little unfortunate for Ian. TG is actually going to go for the Stealth Rocks. I don't really understand that play. I think Power Gem was much better, but I don't know. I don't know what he was thinking there. But Tangrowth is going to get some big damage off on Gengar, making it so Gengar cannot swap in again. And TG is playing a lot of sacks right now. I guess he has to preserve his Mons. Zebstrika gonna go ahead and kill the Gengar. Has to take an Ice Beam. Send it Volt Switches out. And this is Scarf Goodra, everyone. Scarf Goodra is here. It actually does a lot of work to TG's team because it can catch the Lando off guard. But Ian is gonna go ahead and sack off his Jolteon. Lando can come out on the Finny, take an Ice Beam, and it's going to live on 1, so TG getting a little lucky, can go ahead and fire off this Earthquake, do some big damage. So out comes Zebstrika, and Zebstrika has to go for the Volt Switch here, and it actually doesn't kill, so that's very unfortunate. Actually, probably should have gone for the Thunderbolts, because then Tangrowth wouldn't have to take this hit, and this next hit, which is going to decimate the Tangrowth. He's going to over the Giga Drain, get as much health back as possible. And Scizor is going to be looking pretty low, and Tangrowth is going to take a U-turn. And that's the game, because Scarf Goodra is going to win the game. I never thought I would ever say that, but Goodra actually has a really decent speed tier, base 80, so. Anyways, the Arcane Arcanine is going to take a 2-0 victory over the BC Biverals. And last but not least, we have the Florida Floatzel's taking on the Keister Flygons. Oh my god. The Phoenix Flygons. As you can see, we have 2 weekly heroes in this match. Infernape going 4-1, and Thundurus Incarnate going 5-0. Let's get into the match. We have Articuno taking on Mega Venusaur to start off the match. Definitely what Rocker would want, but he's actually just going to go for the U-turn, predicting the swap out. Has to go to Thundurus. Excuse me, is going to get schlepped. And Big Bertha going to go for that Leech Seed. Articuno going to go for the Hurricane. Not really do that much. Sludge Bomb is going to come off from Mega Venusaur. Or no, it did do a lot. What am I saying? Good lord, that decimated the Venusaur. But out comes Donphan. It can take an Ice Beam, I think. Maybe. Serena's a really good swap into Donphan though, because it can get rid of the hazards. And it can just pressure it and go for the U-turn. Go into Infernape, and this is where Mega Venusaur is getting really weakened. Showing off Druddigon being the swap into Infernape. You might... No, you probably didn't. I brought Druddigon against Keister last season as this swap into Infernape, but whatever. I doubt that's what he got it from. It's just a good swap in. I don't know why I'm still talking. Alright. Granbull gets to come out on Druddigon, which is a little risky because Druddigon could have the Gunk Shot, which would do tons of damage to the Granbull. But Granbull's going to go for the Thunder Wave as in comes Donphan. Donphan gets to go for the Earthquake, and Rocker's packing the Ice Punch. Out comes Thundurus on the Ice Punch. This is big damage. I don't really know why Keister went into that thing, but does get to snag a kill with Sludge Wave. And as long as nothing is scarfed on Rocker's team, Thundurus will be able to run through everything. Articuno is probably scarfed because Rocker is more of a straightforward player. He doesn't bluff as much, so I'm thinking this Articuno is scarfed. But out comes Serena, which is actually really decent for Rocker because there's not much that Druddigon could do aside from like Fire Punch or Gunk Shot, which there is the Gunk Shot. Slowbro gets to come out, go for the Scald, and get rid of Donphan as the second kill of the match. This is 5-5, and don't really know why Rocker left it in, but Slowbro is going to go ahead and drop to the Thunderbolt because that was his best way to not get swept by Cloyster, because Cloyster kind of sweeps him now. And here comes Cloyster. He's going to double into Venusaur, probably predicting the swap into, I don't even know. Anyways, Weavile going to double into Cloyster as it takes a Mach Punch. So Rocker does not care. He's killing everything with his Infernape. Leave it in until it dies. Out comes Weavile, and it's going to have to take a Mach Punch. Nope, Rocker just swaps out. I guess it would die to the Ice Shard since it was at like -3 or -4 or something. Rocker's going to come in, go for the Mach Punch, and Thundurus gets the clean. That doesn't kill. Thundurus goes for Thunderbolt. Down goes Infernape. Out comes Thundurus Therian. Sludge Wave. Thundurus stays sleeping. Sludge Wave. Thundurus stays sleeping. Sludge Wave. And down goes Thundurus. And Serena comes out and is not taking a Sludge Wave. So that's going to be the game. Phoenix Flygons winning a 1-0 victory. And if Rocker would have woke up, he would have definitely won. Anything would have killed Keister except for like maybe a U-turn. So definitely unfortunate for Rocker's part. But he's still in playoffs. Well, it's playoff race. Anyways, we have the upcoming matches here. So I'm going to leave this on the screen and talk to you guys a little bit. Thank you guys all for watching this weekly recap and fans and coaches of the ASL. If you could please subscribe down below and leave a like, that'd be absolutely awesome. We had a slower week last week, but I will try and make sure that all the uploads are back on track. But anyways, again, thank you guys for watching. This is weekly recap week 10. And we will see you guys in the next video, which will probably be playoff implications or something like that. But this is the long video. I'm going to get out of here. Goodbye.